The Mass Inferno Dragon and Skelly spell attack is quickly becoming one of the best strategies in Clash of Clans. Welcome back to the channel then, guys. I'm your host, Judo Sloth. You might notice that things are a little bit different. If you are a subscriber, you will have seen on my community tab yesterday that I posted a little sneak peek of the new studio rework. I installed a sitting and standing desk so that we can attack standing up. But if you are worried about the balance change nerfing the super wizards, then maybe you should take a look at the Inferno Dragons, because they are incredibly powerful. I want to boost them up, explain why this strategy works, break it down for you, and then do an attack myself. So let's boost the Inferno Dragon. I already have an army cooking in the background, but I am now going to fill the rest of it with Inferno Dragons. 14 of them, in fact, with 7 Skelly spells. Now, this attack strategy has been used quite a lot in recent weeks, but yesterday on my Twitch stream we seen the fastest ever Clash of Clans attack, 79 seconds to take down a maxed level base with this strategy. So let's show you the live replay, then break it down before I attack live, because I like to bring educational but entertaining Clash of Clans videos. So if that's the type of content you want to see, I would recommend subscribing and turning on the notification bell. Little bit of a heads up, the attack that I am going to be doing is against this base. Now, I will break it down briefly for you once we've shown you the live attack and then the explanation, so let's dive into it. Ni Chang Dance with the Inferno Dragons. 14 of them, in fact, and the Skelly spells. Now, we did first see this in the Carbon Fin birthday war by Nick. I believe he did post on Twitter that a clan helped him with the strategy, but how it basically works is sending the Inferno Dragons in and distracting any major defenses with Skelly spells. Then we have the Battle Blimp moving through. It's a little bit risky with that early Grand Warden ability. He's not going to get the Battle Blimp to the Town Hall, but I'd like to think he has more than enough Inferno Dragons to make it there. One of the air defenses in range, balloons get to the Town Hall either way, and this looks incredibly powerful with the RC now moving through. Skelly's down to the bottom of the base, distracting the single. That is what the skeleton spell is for, just distract the major defenses. It's locked onto the queen. He's got to be careful with this. He's used the ability. Still has the freeze, but with the RC coming through, probably wants to protect the RC with the freeze. It's an easy triple. 143 on the clock. 140 left. That attack was 1 minute and 20 seconds with a swagged freeze. Are you joking? Wow. Seeing that attack, now do you believe me how strong the Inferno Dragons are? I referenced the attack by Nick when we first seen this strategy, and at that time I actually broke it down, explained it, but I never released that footage. So I'm going to show you it now so you understand the strategy before I give it a try. Here is the attack by Nick against the one and only Carbon Fin. A couple of key points first, flying in towards the Town Hall with the Inferno Dragons. This strategy is very similar to how you deploy the E-Drags with the Mass E-Drag attack. Notice that the air sweepers are in different directions from where Nick is entering, always a good thing to consider with any air attack, and also the expos are on ground. Now, this is not a requirement per se. There were numerous attacks using this strategy once Nick had set the trend, and the expos weren't always on ground. So with the strategy, you're using an E-Drag to create pathing on one side, and your king and queen to create pathing on another. That allows the Inferno Dragons into the base, typically entering to the Town Hall. Where do you send the E-Drag? Where do you send the heroes? It's probably more based on the E-Drag. You want to ensure that it's kind of out of the way of an air defense, but it has a lot of chain value. So it gets more chain value on this side of the base when we compare it to the top side. There aren't as many buildings, and the the air defense would reach the E-Drag quicker. Plus, there's a much better chance of our heroes sniping this air defense than at 9 o'clock. We also have the Inferno Dragons getting deployed straight away. You don't necessarily need to wait forever for the funnel to be created, because the Inferno Dragons are going to take a little bit of time initially. So you have one straight line of Inferno Dragons and balloons. This allows them to sweep through the base evenly, just one after another. They're not splitting up all over the place. An early rage spell and an early Grand Warden ability. This is to push them through the Town Hall area. Try and capture as many of the balloons as you can inside that Grand Warden's ability. Maybe even the Stone Slammer. Notice as well that the Stone Slammer was placed to the side of the Inferno Dragons. I'd always recommend that, not necessarily in the center, because it's probably not going to get as much value. The Stone Slammer is a little bit slow, so you do need to make sure that it can at least snipe some buildings. This is where the specialty lies. Skeleton spells to distract defenses. We did see this in the World Championships. I think it was by HT Family, but it could have been a different clan. And it basically is used to tank any of the major defenses, whether it be the enemy queen, the single target Inferno Tower. The only thing you need to be careful of are splash damages. You need to make sure when you place the Skelly spells, the Inferno Dragons are in range. Do not deploy them too quick. If there's a scatter there, maybe deploy it in the dead zone of the scatter. But basically, you are just continually distracting defenses as the Inferno Dragons move through. Look at how brilliantly it is working. Now, the Royal Champion is also used to the bottom area of the base with another Skelly spell. And one thing I would say about the Royal Champion, you're never 100% sure where the Inferno Dragons will go. You see a big bulk of them came down to the southern area of the base, so that's where the Royal Champion is protected, to get into the air defense and protect the Inferno Dragons. So you're always reacting on the fly a little bit with the Royal Champion. You're waiting towards the end. And again, Skelly spells for that single target Inferno Tower. If it's a multi, you can kind of push through that actually with the Inferno Dragons. You do have to be careful of the balloons. Or obviously, if it's in the center of the base, you've got to consider pathing. But if it's anywhere else, you should be relatively okay. Using the Skelly spells to distract the major defenses. The Queen, enemy Royal Champion, and the single target Infernos. Obviously, you can't distract an air defense because it's air targeting. It's not going to shoot at the Skellies. I have seen people use bats for that, but the bats are a little bit less reliable than the Skelly spells. Since I've just broken down the attack by Nick, I'm not going to explain my attack in any kind of depth. I'm just going to get into it. Essentially, I'm sending my King and Queen towards the top two air defense, quickly deploying my Inferno Dragons to keep them on track towards that. E-Drag on the other side with the RC for this third air defense. The reason I'm using the RC early is I think it's better value to just get the air defense, as there are a lot of cannons on the back end of the base, which would not be distracted by the air troops, leaving the RC vulnerable anyways. So I think I'll get better value using her early. It just means I have one air defense on the back end of the base, but I can use the Skelly spells to try and distract things as we go through, and hopefully I'll have enough Inferno Dragons just to overwhelm that. So, gosh, what am I doing? Mass Inferno Dragons! Looks like we've got everything. We're in. We're in. Okay, I might need to use a freeze for the RC moving through in that top area, but let's just see how it goes. Let's actually start with the E-Drag to start a little bit of a funnel. King, Queen, RC, balloons, Inferno Drags, Grand Warden. Let's freeze that. Use this. Grand Warden's ability. Okay, King's ability. Start to use the Skellies. Start to use those Skelly spells. Let's actually send this through the middle. Need to keep using Skellies. I'm not actually using the Skellies very well here, guys, but I am trying to save onto them a little bit so we can assure that we can get this. Let's freeze the Town Hall as my balloons take it down. Queen's ability is still there. We're looking pretty good here. Let's now use that Queen's ability. Let's use Skellies on the single. Try and take that down. Let's freeze this air defense. We might actually use some Skellies there to try and take that. Didn't use the poison, actually, did I? Let's get a Skelly in the dead zone of the scatter. This isn't looking too bad. Come on, Skellies, get the air defense. No! The wizard tower has locked on, but it is distracting the wizard tower. I don't have a lot of force to the top end of the base is the problem. I've used the Skellies too quickly in that area. We've still got a lot of Inferno Dragons, but a couple of Archer Towers and the scatter shot. Could we do it? This is where saving onto the RC is important. Maybe I should have saved onto the Royal Champion. Maybe that would have been the better call, because now with the RC running around the back end of the base, it definitely would have been helpful. I think for the first time trying this, it's not too bad. You know, I never portray myself to be the best attacker. I like to give these things a shot. 90% for my first go isn't too bad. Okay, what do we have here? Not too much loot, but it is a maxed base single target Infernos, which is probably better for us. There's a gap in the base. Can we take advantage of that, or is it a trap? There's gaps all over the place. Does this guy know that obstacles no longer prevent you from getting into the base? Should we use that to our advantage? I feel like we should. Let's go King, Queen, King's ability. Let's freeze the Queen and this area. That's a huge amount of damage. I might not have made the best call there, but yeah, whatever. Let's go. Come on, Queen. Let's get a little bit more funneling going on. Let's use one balloon to try and snipe that off. Come on, Queen. Queen's ability goes off. Okay, balloons. Inferno Drags. Grand Warden. With that Grand Warden ability. Okay, now let's go with the Skellies as we move through to the scatter shots. I think I'm going to use a few of them. Battle Blimp coming through. And let's use the RC across to this right-hand side when we get a little bit further. Rage. Another Skelly in this area. Got to be careful on that back-end scatter shot. Okay, now let's use the RC. Let's freeze the Town Hall. Freeze, freeze, freeze. Oh, I missed it. That was a totally swagged freeze. Okay, let's freeze the air defense and the single. We've got one more Skelly, which I might as well put in this area to the scatter shot. Oh, the single target Inferno in the center has taken down my Inferno Dragons. They're moving through pretty good here. Let's get this air defense. Let's get this air defense. It goes down. Wow. Look at this. I mean, the guy gave me a little bit of an opportunity with that gap in the base. But wow, Inferno Dragons have crushed this. Tornado Trap. I spoke too soon. Oh, I did indeed get the scatter shot. Okay, ramp up, my friends. Ramp up. You have 2 Tesla to get through. Come on, Inferno Dragon. This is one of them. Grand Warden gets it. It's all about this, and it's down. 1 minute left. 100%. The Inferno Dragons do work, and wow, that was a quick attack. That is one of the benefits of this. At least I have improved on the failed war attack. If you do want to see when I used 10 healers in war and had a little bit more success, you can check this video out. The subscribe button is also there. You guys take care, enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video.